Are you completely tired of the guesswork, the endless phone calls, and the waiting on hold just to check your child support payments in Utah? Well, let's dive right into this explainer and fix that.
Look, if you're feeling frustrated by the lack of transparency, or if you're just exhausted from waiting around to get a really simple balance update, you are definitely not alone. This explainer is going to simplify your life by showing you exactly how to manage, verify, and track your child support payments entirely online. No more guessing, just direct access to your own information.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, Utah Child Support Basics. Second, preparing for online access. Third, navigating the ORS portal. Fourth, understanding your payment details. And finally, number 5, help and additional resources.
Let's start with Section 1, Utah Child Support Basics. Understanding the map.
It's actually pretty fascinating how Utah figures out these numbers. They rely on something called the income shares model. Now, the whole goal here is to make sure children receive a level of financial support that's similar to what they would have had if their parents were still living together. It carefully balances the gross combined income of both parents right alongside the exact number of physical custody overnights the child spends in each home.
So while the courts might issue your initial order, the actual day-to-day tracking and enforcement, that's handled by the Utah Office of Recovery Services, or ORS. They're a division under the Department of Health and Human Services, and they manage a massive, highly secure mainframe repository called ORSIS. They handle establishing paternity and enforcing support collections, but, and this is a really vital distinction, ORS does not determine or enforce custody and parent time visitation. If you have disputes over visitation, the ORS digital portal simply won't help you with that. That remains strictly a matter for the courts.
Moving on to Section 2, Preparing for Online Access. Setting up your digital territory.
Because child support data is legally classified as highly sensitive, Utah requires a pretty strict 4-step onboarding process. You can't just create a quick password and log in instantly like you would on social media. First, you have to create a state-level Utah ID. Second, you create your ORS Now profile by linking your specific case ID or a partial social security number. Third, you validate your email address a second time. And finally, step 4, and you definitely want to note this one, Utah will mail a physical security code to your home address on record. Yes, through actual snail mail. It can take up to 10 business days to arrive, and your account stays locked in a pending status until you physically type that mailed code into the portal.
All right, Section 3, Navigating the ORS portal, logging in and troubleshooting.
Okay, so once you are officially logged in, you'll have 24-hour access to track your balances, update your employer or insurance info, and make payments. But a super frequent point of frustration for parents is searching for a child support app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Utah actually does not offer a native mobile app for this system. Instead, you have to use your smartphone's web browser to navigate directly to their secure web portal at orska.dhs.utah.gov. The good news is it has a responsive mobile design, so it's going to look and function perfectly on your screen. You just won't find it in any app store.
Let's look at Section 4, Understanding your payment details, reading the ledgers, and managing expectations.
Depending on what you're actually trying to do, you're going to encounter a couple of different types of ledgers in the system. First, there's the ORSIS debt computation. This is an active, real-time tracking summary. It's exactly what caseworkers use for their everyday adjustments. But let's say you find yourself needing to prove your payment history to a judge. In that case, you need the QMF case account history. This one is a certified month-by-month official document that meets strict IRS standards and is immediately admissible in a state district court without even needing the other parent's signature.
As you're reviewing these ledgers, you'll likely see the term arrears. Basically, this simply means past due support, or historical debt. It's really important to understand the hierarchy of how the system applies your money here. Any incoming payments are automatically routed to cover the current month's obligation first. Only after that current month is fully satisfied will the system apply the remaining funds to pay down those arrears.
Now here's a scenario that trips a lot of people up when they're reviewing their online balances. If the custodial parent receives cash assistance, something like TANF, state and federal law dictates that the legal right to child support is automatically assigned to the state of Utah. So if you're looking at the portal and you see that payments are being collected, but they're being kept by the state treasury rather than dispersed directly to the family, this public assistance integration is exactly why. The state is just offsetting the cost of the public benefits they provided.
To avoid tearing your hair out when auditing your account online, you have to factor in processing delays and fees.
Notice that almost all direct payment methods, online touch pay, the telephone system, and in-person kiosks take about 3 to 5 business days to post to your ledger. Plus, if you're using a card online or at a kiosk, you are getting hit with a 2.9% administrative fee. Knowing these timelines up front stops you from panicking when a payment doesn't show up on your portal the exact second you hit submit.
But listen, if you only remember one number today regarding payment processing, make it this one right here, $2,500. Under state accounting rules, any single payment exceeding $2,500 triggers an automatic administrative hold of up to 21 calendar days. The state does this to ensure those large funds have fully cleared the bank before dispersing them. So if you make a lump sum catch-up payment, do not expect it to hit the custodial parent's account the very next week.
Finally, Section 5. Help and additional resources when the digital system fails.
Even with the absolute best preparation, we all know digital systems can glitch. You can lean on these highly specific support lines to get back on track. For instance, if you get locked out of your initial Utah ID, don't call child support. You actually need the DTS IT help desk. For broken web links, email the webmaster. For actual case inquiries, you'll call ORS customer service. But keep in mind, live agents are legally restricted. They cannot give you legal advice, and they absolutely cannot disclose the other parent's private information, like their home address or their employer, over the phone.
As a final piece of administrative housekeeping, please note that this explainer is intended for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. For specific concerns or legal matters, please consult a qualified attorney or a professional counselor.
Staying informed about these ledgers, navigating that 4-step login process, and anticipating those 3 to 5 day processing times really is the ultimate key to taking control of your financial peace of mind. By mastering the ORS Now portal, you reclaim your time and you completely remove the guesswork. So, I'll leave you with this. Now that you hold the keys to your digital ledger, are you ready to take control of your financial peace of mind? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and please subscribe for more.